Welcome back. I'm here with Stephen O'Brien, Nick Ritchie here, and today catching up to have a chat with him about his experience in health and fitness and his own personal journey of having his own health struggles and really neglecting his health for a number of years. And he's going to share with you how he literally went from that to transforming his health, where he now has a real passion for helping others transform their health to live a healthier life. And he does that as a personal trainer working in the field now for over half a decade. And he also has a keen interest and helps a lot of people in the areas of nutrition and exercise and so much more. So, Stephen, if you'd just like to introduce yourself, and then we can go on from there. I think you've got a little bit of information you want to share first, and then we can continue on from there.
Sure. Well, how's it going, guys? So, as Nick was saying, my name is Stephen O'Brien. I've been working as a personal trainer now for just over 5 years. I also work doing a lot of stuff online with my online programs, through exercise and also through nutrition with our detox program as well. So, yeah, that's about it. That's about me. To start it off.
Awesome, fantastic. So you've got your online programs and your offline programs. So you work with people online and also you work with them in person in the gym.
Yeah, so it's just another way of being able to reach out to more people, try and help more people out there. So doing personal training, it basically just has me stuck in one spot. So by having the online stuff, obviously allows me to reach out to people globally and work with others in different countries. So it's pretty cool to meet up and chat with other people as well around the world, knowing that I can add value to more people.
Fantastic, and you're a guy who's done a bit of travel around the world yourself too. So, and I think everybody who's listening can pick up the Irish accent somehow. So, do you want to share with us what your life was like before you found the health and fitness, world, and what you were doing with yourself that led you to the point of needing to make a change to your health?
Yeah, well, where I am now is a complete different area to where I was going back before I got into the health industry. Actually, the position I'm in now is somewhere where I never even dreamed that I'd actually ever be. So, like, even for me growing up, I was really shy during school. Found it really hard to speak to people. I was a bit overweight. I knew nothing about eating. I knew nothing about exercise. And I felt for a while actually kind of felt lost, felt alone, wasn't happy with how I looked. I wasn't happy with the way I was turning out. So thinking back now, obviously, I can see exactly why I was always tired and I was always getting sick, and why I was actually putting on the weight, and it was all down to constantly eating sugar-loaded foods. So I remember thinking back now, there was days where I'd sit down watching TV and tucking into a big tub of ice cream and finishing the whole tub easily, or other days I could be having a cup of tea with 4 sugars in it, and on top of that having a full package of biscuits to dip it into it. So it was just all these little things that I knew nothing about that was basically adding to my pain rather than helping me to work towards something that I'd really like. So a lot of my friends back then, they were all ripped and lean. It was something I felt I could never ever get to. So I had these limiting beliefs about myself that I could never achieve something like that. So after a few years and stuff, I actually ended up moving away to Spain, and this actually just kind of added to where I was already at. So I was constantly now drinking all the time, living off fast food restaurants, or working in bars, and I wasn't making much money at all. So not making much money, the easiest way to eat is grab the cheapest thing possible, which has always turned out to be like burgers and chips and all the kind of stuff, which kind of kept pushing me more to put on even more weight, which I hated myself even more for. So for me, it was an emotionally tough time as well, and energy levels were all over the place, and just wasn't feeling happy about myself. But So one day then my boss over in Spain that I was actually working in a bar, he said it to me as a joke if I was going to ask me if I'd go to the gym with him. And I then said yes. And it's a funny thing though, but I think all the frustration, all the doubt I had in myself, I was actually able to take that out in the gym. So I was actually able to push myself pretty hard there, and I actually just became. So one of the things I've learned there is that it's about being able to stick to something, setting it push you forward. So like I ended up joining a gym, started going there for maybe a year or two. And during that time, I didn't make massive progress. I got a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. But the thing is, my body composition never changed because I was still at that state of still eating crap, still drinking all the time. So a couple of years after that, I moved back to Ireland, learned a little bit more about nutrition, about healthy eating, and it was just amazing how fast that my body changed once I learned what to eat and how to eat properly. So over the next couple of years, I was still pushing myself hard in the gym, and I just became completely addicted to it. That once I had my food right as well, I just started to create the body that I have always wanted. So from there, after another couple of years, I moved off to Australia. So I decided that since I was after going through my own journey, and I believe that fitness had saved my life, because thinking back now, if I continued down the road that I was going, there's a really good chance I would have been obese. I could have had diabetes. I could have been had other health issues as well on top of that. So I don't even know where I could have ended up. So now I'm basically focusing on how to help other people journey, help them get their mindset right, and helping them overcome anything that's stopping them from achieving whatever they want to achieve. So that's basically kind of my journey, which I've gone through so far.
Fantastic. Do you want to just share with us? Do you want to share with me and the guys who are listening? What was going through your head that day that your boss in Spain said, "Oh, he's just joking about the gym," and then you decided, right, well, I'm going to go to the gym. If you want to float back to that time and step into your body, what was going through your head at the time when he said that, when you made that decision to go with him?
Well, probably thinking back now, that it was probably an emotional decision, that I knew that I wasn't comfortable with the way I looked. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. And even thinking back now, there'll be days where I'd stand there looking in the mirror, wishing I could have been leaner, wish I could have been fitter and stronger. And I think that was just kind of my triggering point, that I may have been waiting all along for someone to actually say, right, let's do it, before I could actually take that first step forward. So if he hadn't said it to me that day, maybe I would have never ended up joining the gym, and I could have kept spiraling down in the path that I was going.
So that was like a moment for you that kind of triggered something inside.
Yeah, I believe it was so. I think that was probably the push that I needed.
Yeah.
But it was definitely the push to help me with that first step forward. So.
All of us have those defining moments where something triggers us to make a decision, so that we actually decide to start to move forward. It creates that push for us to be able to grasp and reach for the results that we know that we want, so we can see that more clearly, and see more clearly also where we are, to get more of a picture and a grasp of where we actually are at the time. Because a lot of times we can just, as you mentioned, you're eating the burgers and the chips and the junk food, and you weren't doing any real exercise, and you weren't really liking the place that you were in, but you weren't really consciously aware of what was, of how you really felt about your body. And if you were, you probably weren't dealing with it per se, like you said. You know, you were sort of, their energy wasn't so good, and although you wanted to, although I guess probably on some level you knew that what you were doing wasn't serving you, it wasn't until there was that defining moment with your boss where you decided, oh well, you know, now is the time to take action. So
Yeah.
so about so how about when you went back to Ireland, what you said that you started to learn more about nutrition and exercise there. So what when you got back to Ireland, what sort of spurred you to start looking into nutrition and exercise? What was going through your head that caused you to take those types of actions?
Well, since I was still going to the gym, the second I got back to Ireland, I knew I had to keep it up. So I joined the gym, and it wasn't really so much of me jumping in straight away and learning about nutrition. It was more about tips I was getting from other people. So just even being out around some friends and stuff, and someone saying, "Oh, you should start cutting out chips and try and focus on eating some more veggies, or stop drinking soft drinks, start drinking a little bit more water." So it was a slow process, because it was just kind of taking one little piece at a time and trying it and seeing how I was going and see what difference it made. And then once I actually seen getting better results, then I started to look into it a bit more and trying to find out exactly what I should be eating, and rather than eating to feel full, that I should be eating to fuel myself and giving myself giving my body what it needs to actually function properly.
Gotcha. So you sort of took your friend's advice of eating a bit more water and less junk food, and you saw the results almost instantly from that, or over time. And then those results of just cutting out a little bit of junk food here and there and drinking a bit more water, from making that simple change, that moving that, you know, taking that simple step forward, that allowed you to see results and really feel the results, and then you're able to go, well, if I can get these sorts of results doing this, then imagine what I could get if I learned more about this nutrition and exercise.
Yeah, so like my results from where I started to where I probably took me 5 or 6 years, but from what I know now, if I could start it all over again, I could probably do it within a year. It's amazing what you can achieve once you just know a couple of little things. Normally the small things that make the big difference.
Yeah,
so whether
Sorry, what was that?
I was just going to say, whether it's just cutting out or something, all those things make a massive difference.
Sorry, just missed that last part that you said.
I was just saying that like the little things make a big difference. So whether it's just cutting out a little bit of junk food and adding in more veggies, or trying to drink a little bit more water every day, those little things that I believe play a massive role in achieving great results. And I've seen it many times as well with my clients, where I find out even like simple things there might be, like pasta at night every night, and by trying it out, I've seen people make massive improvements.
Yeah, and you can you've made some phenomenal changes with some of your clients, and at the end we'll get you to go over a couple of the results that you've had with a couple of your clients, and So with those little small things that you discovered on that learning journey, if you were to go back to that time and step into your body when you were in Ireland and you were actually learning and researching the nutrition, what were some of the key things that you learned maybe when you were in Ireland, or maybe when you moved to Australia, about nutrition, about exercise? What are some of the couple of the simple key things that you learned that have been able to help create great results?
Probably the main one would be to cut out processed sugar. So try not to eat any artificial sweets or anything like that. Cutting out on fizzy drinks, I found that will play a major role. Um, trying to eat more veggies would be the key if you want to start feeling a lot better, you want to start looking a lot better. It's going to be having that wide variety of different veggies. Um, Another thing as well. So I for years I thought I was eating like the chips non-stop or snack chocolate bars. So just cutting little things is huge.
Yeah, great. So cutting out the processed sugar, um, eating more fruits or more vegetables. You said vegetables and a wide variety of vegetables.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
key, and lots of lean meats as well. So like even going back, I used to have these like battered chickens, and I wanted to get my piece of protein in. I go in and I have this like breadcrumb chicken. I used to eat them all the time, and it obviously turns out then that they were deep fried as well, and just contained a load of grease inside them. And I used to think, oh, I'm just protein in them, but I was thinking about all the other.
Hmm. So you weren't thinking about all the other stuff that was in there.
Um, yeah, so another thing with the food side would be starting to have fish. But fish is something I used to never ever eat. I absolutely hated it. So it isn't until I actually moved off to Australia that I started eating more, getting more fish into me. But I find that is a really good source of protein as well because you don't feel full or bloated after it as well, and it's a great meal to have for dinner.
Hmm. Excellent. So yes, fish. Awesome. Fantastic. And so how about so you started? It seems like it was a gradual shift for you. There was a defining moment in Spain there, a defining moment for you where you made a decision to start to take care of your health in a different way, and then you moved to Ireland, and then Australia, and so it seems like it's been a real gradual process for you. It wasn't like after 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks that like your whole life transformed. It was a gradual process for you in your case, right?
Oh yeah, it's at least 5, 6 years it took me before I got to that stage where I actually looked at myself and goes, "Whoa, I can't believe the results I'm after getting, or how I've transformed my body that much." But not even just my body, how I transformed my mind as well. My way of thinking about exercise, about health, about nutrition. I completely just transformed everything really. I think
Yeah.
one of the biggest realizations I had was when I was in Sydney before, when I first came over, and I was just walking. I think I was just walking down to the beach, and some girl stopped me and said, "Can I take a picture of your abs?" I was like, "Whoa!" So that was a comment that kind of blew me away, and that kind of gave me a bit of a realization how far I actually have to come in. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. That's fantastic, man. So you had a bit of feedback there as well. But tell me, what is the difference between the way? How did you used to think going back to that time when before you had that moment with your manager in Spain? How did you used to think about your health and your body and about food and exercise back then? And then I'll ask you how you feel about it now.
Well, back then I didn't think about it. Each day was just, as I was actually drinking a lot back then as well. I was just constantly in party mode. I didn't care about what I was eating. I had to feel full, or I ate because I knew I needed to eat something. So it didn't matter what it was, as long as I just felt full after it. So yeah, I had no thoughts about my health, no thoughts about exercise, about nutrition. Um, I I believe it was because I was just uneducated about it. That I didn't believe it was important to me, and I didn't really understand that that was the reason why I was putting on weight all the time, or why I was feeling tired, or why I had no motivation, why I didn't really care so much about myself, and so I think I was in that vicious cycle because when you're not eating right or when you're not exercising, you feel down, you feel tired, it's really hard to motivate yourself, and then feeling down, so then you eat some more crap, and then you just feel down again. So you're in this vicious cycle, and you just keep going round and round, and then you just think that's life at the end of the day. So you just constantly keep doing that. So it's not actually until you get outside of that and you get a taste of what it's like to be really healthy and fit and vibrant that you realize, whoa, how did I even survive being back then like that? So I think that was definitely a big step for me.
Yeah, wow, fantastic. And taking that big step really transformed a lot of things. And how about now? I mean, how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about your body? How do you feel about exercise? How do you feel about nutrition? How are you thinking about all that now?
Oh well, definitely feel like I'm proud of myself and proud of what I was able to achieve, and it just makes me feel like that anything is possible once you put your mind to it. If you really want to achieve something, you just go out and get it, and that's it. So that's the way of looking at life as well. It's not just about health and exercise, but if you want it bad enough, you just got to make the effort and go and do it. So, but yeah, the way I feel about health and nutrition now, that obviously I'm going to still enjoy things every now and then. I'm not going to completely avoid stuff altogether. So like every so often on the weekend, I will have a drink. I think I'd be shunned upon if I didn't go out and have a drink because I'm Irish. So yeah, so every now and then I'm not going to hold myself back, but I do know that I'm not going to be going out doing it every single night, or I'm not going to be going out eating pizzas and burgers every single night, even though the chances of me even eating burgers and pizzas now are like once every 3 or 4 months. So just because I know I'm going to feel a lot better if I eat more veggies, having like raw veggie shake. Even if I took 3 or 4 days off training, I'd feel really bad. So I'm just kind of addicted to being healthy now. So I think that's one of the biggest things, that I wasn't just pushing myself to change my health, but it was more about creating a new lifestyle that that still allows me to enjoy things every now and then. But I know I enjoy something, but then I just get straight back on track, and I know exactly what to do, and I know how to push myself to keep going.
Great. And what sort of things do you enjoy now that you didn't used to be able to, that you couldn't enjoy, or that you didn't enjoy before you transformed your health?
I'm not too sure that there's so many things that I didn't enjoy. It's more of how I feel about myself now, about being more confident in myself, that I'm more proud of myself. That I remember going back a good few years ago, before I got into doing health and exercise, that I was pretty ashamed of how I looked at even go swimming and wear a t-shirt. Whereas now I could be going down to the beach and proud of how I'm looking, and yeah, so it's just more of a confidence boost rather than things that I couldn't do back then that I can do now.
Fantastic. And tell me, I mean, how is all this change in confidence and believing in what you can do for yourself now, and having that level of confidence, how has that affected other areas of your life?
Well, even just looking at my business, like me growing up, because I was shy and because I wasn't confident at all and I wasn't happy with myself, I never in my life thought I'd be able to own my own business. and now I've got three businesses. So it's been a massive leap, and I believe that there's nothing really stopping me now from doing whatever I want to achieve. So again, it's definitely the confidence thing, 100%.
Yeah, fantastic. So your business has really improved as a result, and how about other areas of life? Is there any other areas of life that have been improved as a result of this new confidence from taking care of your health?
Well, if I didn't never look after my health, then I would have never met my fiance Juliana. So I think that's a major factor as well, that I was looking good, looking healthy, and meet partner in my dream. So I think that was definitely a major one for me.
Awesome, fantastic. So your business. I mean, you have a business now, and you've transformed that, and you met your now fiance Juliana, and so it seems like quite a lot of areas of your life have transformed, and that your life's really improved as a result of you focusing on improving your health.
Oh yeah, big time. So I don't think it's going to stop there. I think there's always room for improving even more. So as my journey goes on, I'm sure I'm going to improve in more things. So it's just
awesome. And so
forward.
You're going to say that?
I was just about to say it's all about just keep moving forward, keep learning.
Always learning, always moving forward. Nice one. No matter what level you reach. And so how about some of the results that you have with a couple of clients? I know you could probably spill those off the top of your head. A couple of particular clients. I know you work with a lot of people over the years, and you've really helped a lot of people. What are a couple of the clients' stories that you'd like to share about, before and after stories of people that you've worked with so far?
So, there was one guy I trained for a while. He lost, must have lost about 40 kilos or so. So when I started off with him, I can remember our first session, we actually did an outdoor session in the park, and I made him run about 20 meters, and he dropped to the floor and he nearly collapsed after it, just from that little bit of a run, and it just showed me that how much this guy was actually out of shape. So it was pretty amazing, because from that day, 6 months, myself and him ran a half marathon, and he was able to actually run the whole thing. There's no walking involved at all. He managed to run the whole thing and stop, and lose about 40 as well during that journey. So that was pretty amazing.
Wow.
I've had another guy that's lost 30 kilos. He went from being a type 2 diabetic. He was diagnosed with diabetes. He was obese, overweight. He was actually on the verge of having a stroke. So his journey went from just being completely overweight from eating too much crap and not looking after his health, to now, at 52 years old, being almost just as fit as me. The guy can deadlift 175 kilos, squat 130 kilos, can run a kilometer in like 3 minutes 40. So it's pretty crazy, the results people get when they're put on track and have the right program to follow and the right guidance as well along the way. So they're pretty two of my major accomplishments with some of my clients and what they've achieved. So it's pretty inspiring to see something like that. You know that you've helped people along the way and you've really helped them to change their lives. So that's been pretty cool.
Wow, that must feel pretty cool. And so one person could barely even run 20 meters without collapsing from exhaustion, and then 6 months later they're running a half marathon with you. And
yeah.
I mean, that's massive, and that's a transformation. And then the other story that you mentioned was somebody who you started working with, was on the verge of having a stroke, had type 2 diabetes, was obese, and within a certain time frame of you working with them, they completely transformed themselves, right?
Yeah,
and at 50 years old.
Completely reversed the diabetes as well on top of that. So
Whoa.
Pretty amazing.
Well, I'm guessing at 52 years old, so this person has no longer got the diabetes, and they've transformed their strength, so they're really strong in the gym by the sounds of it, and so obviously they're not obese anymore either.
Oh no, he's pretty lean at the moment. He's unbelievably fit, unbelievably strong, and now basically he just has a whole new way of looking at life. So it's pretty It's pretty awesome start to that journey.
So not only did you help this guy transform his health, but transform his life.
Yeah. So he has a new way of living and a new way of looking at life now. So it's pretty amazing.
Excellent. That's fantastic. So wrapping up this interview, I think, I appreciate you sharing what you've shared. I'd just like you to maybe send off a couple of last pieces of advice, some last advice for our listeners as part of the Psychology of Health and Fitness 30-day transformation program for our members, and some last minute advice and also some information on yourself, on where your business is located, or for your online business, where they can reach you for more information, and where they can connect with you further for any more info.
Yeah, it's probably simple advice, even on the nutrition side, is like I was saying earlier about trying to get more veggies into you, and I'd always recommend people trying to have some raw veggie shakes every day, even just mixing it up. Some kale, celery, ginger, beetroot, so just having that wide variety, and it's just a way to load up your body with lots of different nutrients every day. Making sure as well drinking more water daily, and then trying to aim for at least 5 days a week exercising with a minimum of 30 minutes. So when you look at exercising, it's not about, you have to go in and lift weights constantly and stuff like that. It's not about that. It's about actually getting yourself to move. So for some people, it might be just getting out and going for a walk, whereas others then they might go in and start lifting weights and throwing kettlebells around and stuff. So everybody's different. Everybody's got different goals, and everybody's got a different ability. So it's all about working to your own ability and just getting out and starting to move a bit more. And after that, cutting out some sugary foods. So that's basically it, really. And people wanted to find out a little bit more about me and about my online program. I've got a new website just set up, and it's stevept.com.au. So guys, they can jump on there, check it out. We've got an online detox, cleanse and nourish program there. I've also got an online training program on there. And for anyone then that's in Sydney, I train out of one of the fitness first in the city. So I think that's about it about me.
That's great, Stephen. So that's some great tips that you left, and so people can reach you at what was that website? stevept.com.
stevept.com.au.
Okay, so stevept.com.au, and how do you spell that, Steve? Was that
STEVE?
Yeah. Fantastic. So stevept.com.au for your website to get more information on you or the programs that you offer for online and for offline in person in Sydney, Australia, in one of the fitness first in the city. They could reach you as well.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to connect with me personally on Facebook, they can just type in Fighting Fit and the number 4, then FUN, and you'll be able to find me there. So Fighting Fit for Fun. Type that in on Facebook, and then should find me on that.
Awesome. Well, hey, appreciate your time, Stephen, and I'm sure our members will the community will appreciate what you've shared here in this interview. So guys, if you need any more information about Stephen, go to stevept.com.au or type in Fighting For, which is the number 4 fun, into Facebook, and you'll catch up with them there.
Fighting Fit for Fun. So FIGHT, FIGHTING, FIT, the number 4, then FUN.
Fantastic. Awesome, Stephen. Well, hey, thank you, my friend, and we'll catch up again soon. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you again for another time.
Cheers.